This is a gearbox from Advanced Tactical ETU version. As you can see, it's obviously pink. It's because it's from the pink version of the M4 that has the cutouts in the body, like this one. This does have the electronic trigger unit. I've taken out the screws as well as the spring and the spring guide. Spring is just a normal M90, same as the Spectre Arms ones. And these are essentially this. Well, they start off as the same gearbox. This is a different spring guide though. It's a nice metal bearing one. And let's just pop this open. The only thing I've done to this gun at the moment was I would change the spring to a Rocket M90 because the original one was getting about 290 FPS and the Rocket one gets about 330. On the inside of the gearbox, you can see where they haven't obviously painted. There was some shims on this side of the gearbox as well as a little bit of grease. It's kind of just brown grease just down there. And here we can actually see the components. They have the trigger unit there. Let's just take out the compression parts. Normal kind of red tappet plate and nozzle. These are pretty much standard in a lot of the guns that come out of this factory. Some are blue, some are red, but these ones are red and a lot are. We have the piston head, a little bit dirty on the bottom on the actual piston head itself. And the inside of the cylinder looks pretty bad actually. I presume they didn't mean to paint the inside pink as well. I'd presume they didn't. That wouldn't be very good now, would it? It looks quite dirty, but I didn't think it's scratched. But we'll give that a clean in a second. And then to normal, one O-ring on the head, no O-ring in the nozzle. Just put that together and see what kind of seal we get. Just without the clean or anything first. So let's move that onto. It's a good seal without the nozzle. I imagine the nozzle will leak a little bit though, simply because of the fact that it hasn't got an O-ring. Yeah. Even closed, that's also leaking. And we'll see if we can get a different nozzle on there, which should be a normal 21.4 or 21.45mm nozzle. So we'll change that. We can also see the gears. These are the normal kind of basic Advanced Tactical Spectre Arms gears. These are covered in a, again, kind of brown grease. There's a delayer on the top as well as some shims. This gun did seem shimmed quite well, apart from the bevel gear had a lot of up and down movement. But the other two gears seem to be shimmed fairly well. It's not terrible, but I'm going to give it a clean and a reshim anyway. Now we can see the electronic trigger unit. If we just take out the trigger. Again, if this is one of the normal versions, not everything will be pink. As you can see, there's a small little lever that gets pushed to activate the trigger, just there. Pressing that on my thumb. And on the other side, as we have the selector plate, there was also one for the full auto. Just there, when the selector plate gets over it, pushes it down, and goes into full auto. I don't believe you can actually program this with anything. I did have a look and see if I could, but I can't seem to figure out a way to program it. And when I looked online, it said about moving the selector switch back and forth, but I did try that prior and it didn't do anything. But I will see again if I can program this to do something like burst on full auto. I haven't actually used this in a game yet, but I just had a few test shots with it and a bit of fiddling with the barrel setup. But everything seems pretty good. The ETU seems to be quite good, apart from the fact that I can't figure out how to program it. Everything else is kind of standard for this kind of range of guns. If you took out the trigger unit, you'd basically just have a basic Lancer Tactical or a basic Spectre Arms Corps or a basic Evolution. They're all essentially the same, obviously with differences. This one obviously having an ETU as well as the pink and a couple of other different things, but for the most part they're all pretty much the same. I'll be back with another video shortly, but I'm just going to have a look at this and clean it up and change a few of the parts.